Good morning, everyone. Welcome to PRG's Introduction to Social Media seminar. My name is Simon Groves and I'm the Director of PRG. But as social media involves everyone in the company and not just one person, I've brought along quite a few members of the PRG team. There's Phil Bingham, our Account Director, Sarah Rajabali, Account Executive, Rebecca Hardesty, Social Media Executive, and Catherine Ranger, Senior Account Manager. We're going to be aiming to talk for about 20 to 25 minutes and then take another 5 to 10 minutes of question and answers afterwards. But if we've got more involved questions or you'd like to come talk to us further, we'll be downstairs on stand number 69, the ice cream stand. Now, some of you in here probably know PRG already, and you might have a bit of an idea about what we do, but you probably don't all know everything that we do. We're a full-service marketing communications agency, which means we offer PR, marketing, web design and development, graphic design, and social media and SEO, as well as publishing 3 magazines. Today we're going to be aiming to cover the basics of social media and look at just the main channels, so hopefully you'll see how it might work for you in the future. First off, can I have a show of hands? Who here has a company website already? Okay. And for those of you who put your hands up, who feels that their website works for them as they want it to? Interesting. So, everybody that had hands down there, come see us afterwards, please. And those of you who did put your hands up, come talk to us anyway, because we might be able to suggest some ways that we can improve your site.
So what is social media? I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with Twitter, Facebook and LinkedIn. But what all these social networking sites share in common is that they engage real people online in conversation. So social media is about building relationships. Before we talk about who is using it, I'd like to share some facts with you. A quarter of the time people spend online is on social websites, so it's clearly not a fad, it's here to stay. People are actually using it all around us. They're not just using their PCs to access social networking sites, they're using their mobile phones. 37% of UK smartphone users actually have a social networking app on their phone, and they're using it at least once a week. So who is using social media? A lot of people might think that it's today's youth who are using it the most, but as you can see from these stats, it's actually the 23 to 49 age bracket that are using it the most. So for businesses who are looking to engage with working professionals, it's a really useful business tool.
So what are people talking about? Well, anything that's of interest or that you're curious about. If you're interested in something, you can be sure that there are a group of people talking about it online. A great example is Heinz. They have decades of heritage behind them. So Facebook is a great place for them to create a platform, a place where their fans or people that buy the product can go and talk about the product and why they like it. So who is engaging? Millions of people. It's been said that if Facebook was a country, it would be the 3rd largest country in the world. Anyone with access to the internet and opinion will be talking. So that could be your employees, your consumers, people that might possibly be a customer at some point. Could be your critics or your fans. The conversation can take place across a variety of social platforms. That could be social networking sites where people go to connect with their friends, people they don't even know that they might want to become close with at some point. Message boards and forums, they could be creating discussions that are there for people to talk about a specific subject. That's why they're there. Whatever it is, there is somewhere created for people to talk about whatever they want to talk about. And if it's not there, then someone will create it.
So, what can social media do for you? It's a great way for you to communicate to your customers, and it's a great way for your customers to communicate back to you. It's also a fabulous way to drive traffic to your website. So if you use all the different media, different platforms, then the idea is this will support your media marketing campaign online, drive your traffic to your website, and hopefully that'll end up in a sale. More importantly though, social media is about giving your brand a voice and a personality. It's all easy to hide behind your branding, but social media, see, there's a real human behind it, and by communicating using these different platforms, and your customers will feel as if you're talking directly to them using the same lingo and language that they're used to, and vice versa. There's a report by Regulus, which is a workplace provider, and they said that social media is no longer a nice to have, but a necessity. And this report said that 66% of UK businesses said their marketing activities would not have been as successful had they not been using social media. And interestingly enough, 1/3 of the businesses that they surveyed said that they devoted 20% of their budget to social media. That's quite a large percentage. So, what platforms are there? The internet is vast, we know, but there's hundreds upon hundreds upon hundreds of different social media channels that you could use. But today we're going to talk about the 5 most relevant, most popular ones that are most well known to you. Facebook, well, before Facebook, about 7 years ago if you can remember, we used internet chat rooms and forums. But what Facebook has actually done is it's made it more interactive, more personal and revolutionary. Now we all know what's been going on in the Middle East at the moment with the uprisings, but a Cairo activist said that they used Facebook to schedule protests, Twitter to coordinate these protests, and YouTube to tell the world. Now, I'm not saying that we should all band together and take down the government, but what I'm trying to say is that if you use social media in the correct way, it can revolutionise your online brand and hopefully lead to sales and repeat business.
So Facebook, who has a personal Facebook page? Put your hands up. And how about a company Facebook page? Okay, it's not surprising that there are fewer company Facebook pages out there, because a lot of businesses struggle to understand the benefits of Facebook for their business. But for a lot of B2C companies and some B2B businesses, Facebook can be a very effective tool for raising brand awareness and also promoting your products. The ultimate aim of Facebook is for fan engagement. So you want your customers to become fans of your page and like your page, so that when they log on, they'll see all your recent posts in their newsfeed. So what's going to attract your customers? A personalised landing page could be a good start to attract them. Competitions and discount incentives are also a good idea. Once you've established a fan base, you need to think about what's going to keep them coming back. So you need to think about regularly updating the page with news, images, and if it's available, video footage. You also need to listen to your customers. Make sure that you're engaging with them, answer their questions. Finally, don't presume that just because your customers are on Facebook that they'll want to hear from you.
So I'm going to talk to you about Twitter. So, who has heard of Twitter? Who uses Twitter personally? And who uses Twitter for their company or their business? Twitter is a great way of speaking to a lot of people at the same time. It's based on a text messaging system and uses 140 characters. You may think that's not enough to sort of pass your message on, but actually what you want to do is give a nutshell of what you want to say and get it out there. And also, ideally, put a link to whatever it is that you're trying to promote at the end. Now, your web address obviously can be very, very long, but if you use something like bit.ly.com or Google URL shortener, what that does is it shortens down your address to a sizable link, and then you can insert that, and you've still got, 100 characters to play around with. It's a good way of promoting whatever it is around sort of the word of mouth, and it's very good at communicating to your customers. It uses real time, so whatever's being said on Twitter right now is what the street. Twitter does have its own lingo. You've got things like tweeting, tweets, at mentions, but don't worry about it. You just get on there, have a look around, you'll quickly pick it up. But what I do want to talk to you about is about retweeting, which is basically repeating someone else's tweet that you find interesting and you think that your fans or your followers will find interesting. So, for example, if we put something up on PRG has around about 300 followers. Then my personal account, which has about 200 followers. So essentially, if I retweet PRG's tweets, that's 500 people that original message has gone and reached. Now, if Stephen Fry picked up my tweet, that's PRG's tweet, my tweet, plus his tweet, which is 2 million, his followers rather, which is 2,750,469 followers that he had yesterday. Then that's just gone global, and you cannot buy that kind of publicity. And essentially, it's free. One tweet is being pushed out there. With Twitter, what you don't want to do is give people the hard sell, because it's all about conversing with people. So you don't want to say, buy this, buy this, buy this. You want to engage with your fans, you want to engage with your followers, which is pretty much everything about social media anyway. So, you can promote your products, but also, have a chat to people. Why not? It's all about networking. I've got some interesting stats. There's over 2 million registered users on Twitter. It takes 1 week to send 1 billion tweets, and the record for the number of tweets per second is 3,440 tweets, and that's when Obama told the world of Bin Laden's death. So that just went around the world very quickly in an instant.
If I could ask for another show of hands, this time how many of you are on LinkedIn? Okay, similar number to Facebook. LinkedIn is different to Facebook, although Facebook is becoming increasingly adopted by businesses. If you went back a few years, you might have thought of the typical Facebook profile picture being somebody half naked and half drunk. The typical LinkedIn profile picture would be somebody suited and booted. That's changing, but LinkedIn was respectable from the outset, and LinkedIn is now getting really, really popular. You might be surprised to hear there are 4 million of us in the UK using LinkedIn, 100 million worldwide, and every second of every day, one more person signs into LinkedIn. That sounds like a lot of people, and you wonder how you might regulate who you talk to and who talks to you. But it's a system that has what you might call gated access. So you can only get connected to people if you know them, or if they know somebody who you'd like to get connected to and you get introduced through. That regulates who you talk to. The best way is to identify your interest groups. For example, you're on LinkedIn because it's there for business purpose. So you're going to be talking about the kinds of things that your business does, your organisation does. So you want to hook up with interest groups with similar affiliations. It's a great place to demonstrate your expertise, but better still, it's a great place to talk to people with good parallels to think about what we're doing here today. LinkedIn does the same, but it's doing online. So as well as having your exhibition stand, which is showing what you can do, which LinkedIn would do with your company profile or your individual's profiles, people are going to come to the stand and talk to you, and you're going to contribute to their knowledge levels by doing so. It's also a good place to demonstrate your capabilities through third-party endorsements.